Good afternoon, my fantabulous 8th grade class. It's Mr. Morrison here. We're in week April 13 to April 17th, and I've got another little lesson for you, so let's get to it. I can calculate simple and compound interest. Here we go. All right, so I figured we'd start with simple interest first, since that's the easier process to do. So let's look at some definitions. Simple interest: earnings are paid on a fixed amount of money that we call principal. To calculate simple interest, use this formula: interest equals principal times rate times time, where I is the interest earned, P is the principal or amount invested, R is the interest rate expressed as a decimal, and T is the time invested in years. Here's our example. Calculate the interest earned after 5 years on a $2,000 deposit that earns 5.5% simple annual interest. Once again, we have the formula I equals PRT. Use the simple interest formula where P is 2,000, R is 5.5% interest, and T equals 5, and then just multiply. All right, they're really trying to help us out here. So I'm going to move this up a little bit to get these numbers in our formula put down. All right, so if I like to start with the formulas. It's going to be I equals P and little r and T. So I is what we're finding. Okay, how much interest do we get if we invest $2,000 at an interest rate of 5.5%? So I'm going to put that over here. Let me do that in a darker color. 5.5%. You say, how did you get 0.055? Well, I move twice as the rule to the left, and notice I created a gap here, so I fill it in with a 0, and now I put my decimal right here and a 0 in front, and that's how I get 0.55 thousandths. So then I come back to my yellow, and I'm going to multiply that times the 0.055, if you want to say, times and the time, which is 5 years. All you got to do is crunch your numbers after that, and 2,000 times 55 thousandths times 5 gets you $550 interest, okay? And then if you want to know the total amount you have now, you would add that back to the 2,000, and you would have 2,550 if you wanted to know the total. All right, let's do an example of compound interest. Starting off with the compound interest definition, earnings are calculated on the original amount plus accumulated interest. The principal increases each year based on the interest earned. To calculate compound interest, use the formula A equals P times parentheses 1 plus R close parentheses to the T power, where A is the total account balance, P is the principal, R is the interest rate expressed as a decimal, and T is the number of years. Here is our problem. Calculate the account balance and interest earned on a $2,000 deposit into an account that earns 5.5% compound interest annually for 5 years. Use these numbers, simplify, rounding to the nearest hundredth, and multiply. Okay, let's do it. Doesn't sound too bad. What am I going to start with? You guessed it, the formula. So right here, I got A equals P times 1 plus R to the T power. Now let me start plugging in. I don't know what A is because that's what I'm looking for. Okay, and I know that P in the green there is $2,000 times parentheses 1 plus the rate has been converted to 0 .055, okay, for us. They moved the decimal twice to the left. That's how they got that. And then we have to find it's to the 5 years fifth power, like that. Using my PEMDAS tells me what to do first. If you have your graphing calculator, you can just plug the numbers in and press enter. But we're going to have to calculate this out. So doing PEMDAS, I know that I've got parentheses I have to do first. So I'm going to add these two. And when I do that, I get 1.055 or 1 and 55 thousandths. Close my parentheses because I haven't done anything with the 5 exponent yet. And don't forget I got the 2000 also I got to do something with. Okay, so I go back to PEMDAS and I see that I have exponents. So I'm going to do that next. What does it mean? 1.55 thousandths to the fifth power? Well, basically you're going to multiply 1.55 thousandths 5 times against itself. When you do that, you're going to see on your calculator that you get 1 and 31 thousandths. Okay? 1 and 31 hundredths. Then you're going to multiply that times the 2000 because that's your last step. That's all you've got left. When you do that, you come out with 2,613, and the round off takes you to 92 cents. Okay? And that is your accumulated balance. In there you have your principal of $2,000 and your interest of $613.92. Box it off, and that's everything all together. So after 5 years, that's how much money you would have. Cool. That's it, guys. Have a great rest of your afternoon, and we'll see you soon with another example. Peace out.